Hi, my name is Keith Dopp. I'm the welding instructor here at Eastern Westmoreland Career and Technology Center, and this is the weld shop. And I want to take you on a little tour, so why don't you come on in. Right now we're sitting in our theory lab at the welding shop, and this is where we learn about welding. And I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about the 3-year breakdown of what you'll be doing here if you decide to choose my program to come down in your 10th grade year. The first thing is occupational orientation. Occupational orientation includes a big emphasis on safety. Safety is our main goal here. We have to make sure that you know how to operate the machinery that we have here safely, not only for you, but for your co-workers. So that's a big emphasis is put on that right at the beginning of the year. Also, we'll show you how to use the machinery that you've seen in the shop and be able to use it proficiently. We talk about the theory of welding, when it all started, how it came about. We have basic math for first year students, second year students, and third year students. We have to make sure that you know how to use a tape measure, any type of measuring devices that you may come across in this line of work. We also give you an introduction, and you use rather extensively oxy-fuel cutting, plasma cutting. Those two thermal processes are a big part of welding, and we have to make sure that you know how to do that. We also weld with wire, MIG weld and flux core weld, and we'll talk about welding symbols and blueprint reading. In your second year, we refine your measurement skills, tool skills. We show you how to use layout tools. We also introduce you to gas tungsten arc welding. Blueprint reading continues on in your junior year. And then we start talking about how to weld vertically, and we talk about how to weld overhead. We'll talk a little bit about welding metallurgy, how heating and cooling affects different types of materials. One other thing that I like to teach is brazing, because even though it's a lost art and it's not used very much anymore, I still think that every welder should know how to braze. Your third year, we get more into examination of welds, inspection techniques, how people evaluate welds. We also talk about materials and how some of those materials might be tested in a lab. We continue with out of position welding, overhead, vertical. You guys, as far as seniors go, seniors, you will continue to work on refining your welding skills for your NOCTI testing. You have a hands-on test at the end of, towards the end of your senior year to just see what you actually learned in my shop. I also offer OSHA 10 training. You'll get a card. You'll take it. It's a 10-hour course, and you'll get your occupational OSHA 10 card for safety. We continue with professional development, how to write a resume, thank you letter, how to interview, and then at the very end of the year, before you graduate, you all have the opportunity to take a welding certification test and leave here with some sort of welder certification, which is instrumental in trying to obtain a job once you do graduate. Some of the pathways career pathways that would be presented to you by taking this class is you could be a welding engineer. You can design welds. You would be able to calculate what types of welds need to be used for different job applications. You also could find yourself as a pipe fitter. Pipe fitters are essential for new construction, repair construction. There's a great demand for pipe fitters. Boilermakers, generally Boilermakers go into power plants and they work on power plants whenever they have an outage. Welding instructor, such as myself, after years and years of being in the field, I chose to be a welding instructor because I wanted to give the knowledge that I've learned over the years back to students so they can be successful in this field. And then also welding inspector. You have to know about welding to be a welding inspector. That is something that is, in my opinion, is a prestigious type of career. You get to travel if you chose to do that type of work. And I do have some students that do choose to be inspectors. So there's a lot of different things that you can do after you take this course. And it's not just limited to being a welder in a shop. There's nothing wrong with that. I've done that for many years, and everything that I have is attributed to the welding profession. So this is a very important job. We have, as welders, we have a moral responsibility, a commitment to the public safety. Because if you think about it, a lot of things that you touch every day have some sort of welding done to it. And not only that, but approximately 50% of all consumer goods that are produced in the United States have some sort of welding done to it. So there is always a need for welders, always. You can't have a machine do every type of welding. And even if you could, you still need people to operate those machines for automation. So you always need welders. Some of our industry partners, Johnstown Welding and Fabricating is a large company, obviously in Johnstown. Clark Metals out in Blairsville provides services to the medical field. They build machinery that is used for the medical field. So there's there's a lot of diversity when it comes to welding and what you can do. We also, if you would choose to go post-secondary school after high school, we have articulated credit agreements with Thaddeus Stevens, Westmoreland County Community College, Pittsburgh Technical College, Triangle Tech, CCAC, Thaddeus Stevens are some of the schools that are in our area that accepts credits that you earn here that you can take with you if you would choose to go to post-secondary. So if you are not afraid to work with your hands, if you're not afraid of a little bit of hard work, then try out Welding Technology and come down and learn how to weld.